Hello friends, this is the third video lecture of our constitutional law series. Today we will be discussing amendment of constitution. So now how many ways of amending our constitution are there? So there are three ways. First, amendment by simple majority. Second is amendment by special majority under Article 368. And third is amendment by special majority with ratification of states. So now what is amendment by simple majority? So in amendment by simple majority, the majority of the members present and voting is simply required to pass an amendment bill. So there are certain provisions in our constitution which only requires a simple majority. So it won't be a difficult task to amend such provisions of our constitution. So what are those provisions? So it generally relates to admission of new states, alteration of areas, boundaries or names of the existing states, second schedule, emoluments, allowances, privileges of governor, president, speakers, salaries of MPs. So these are the provisions which actually generally one remembers. But there are certain more provisions which gets unnoticed by the students and they can be asked in MCQs. For example, fifth and sixth schedule. So these schedules are related to administration of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. So these are two important schedules of our constitution and it can be amended by simple majority only. At times it often asked in MCQs that whether fifth and sixth schedule can be amended by which amendment. So generally student thinks that it can be amended by special majority because it is one of the most important schedules of our constitution. But it's not the case. It can be amended by simple majority. Also, the provisions of citizenship, acquisition and termination, rules of procedure in parliament, delimitation of constituency, elections to parliament and state legislature, all these things can be amended by simple majority, but it generally gets unnoticed. So one must keep track of this. So this was amendment by simple majority. Now we have second case, amendment by special majority under Article 368. So what does Article 368 states? It states that power of Parliament to amend Constitution in accordance with the procedure laid down in this article. So it states the constituent power of the Parliament when it amends the Constitution, and most of the provisions are amended by this method only under Article 368. So now what is the procedure laid down under this article? What we require to amend by special majority? So we require majority of total membership and not less than 2/3 of the members of the House present and voting. So two things are required: majority of the total membership and not less than 2/3 of the member present and voting. So this makes it difficult because in simple majority we just need 1/2, 50%. But here we need 2/3, which is almost 66%. So it makes the procedure tough. So this was about special majority. Now we also have special majority and ratification of states. So there are certain articles in our constitution. If you want to amend them, you not only need special majority, but you also need ratification by more than 50% of the states. So these articles are Article 54, Article 55, which relates to President. Article 73 relates to executive power of the Parliament. Chapter 5, Part 6 relates to high courts in different states. Chapter 4 of Part 5 relates to Supreme Court. And the list of 7 schedule, the representation of states in Parliament. So generally, if you see those provisions which are the bedrock of our federalism, if you want to amend them, then you not only require special majority but also ratification by more than 50% of the states. For example, recently GST was passed. So when GST was passed, it not only required special majority but also ratification by more than 50% of the states. So why? Because GST was somewhat affecting the finances of so many states. So it was somewhat affecting the federal nature of our country. It was often termed also as one nation, one tax. Therefore, we needed ratification of states also. Now we have subclause 3, which states that nothing in the article shall apply to any amendment made under this article. So Article 13 actually says that, any law which abrogates the fundamental rights or takes away the fundamental right will be void, or if it is inconsistent with the fundamental right, it will be void. But this clause 3 says that Article 13 is not applicable on constitutional amendment law. Therefore, constitutional amendment law can only take away fundamental rights. So now this clause 4 and 5, actually it gave unlimited power to the parliament to make changes in the constitution, or unlimited power of amendment to the constitution was given to the parliament. So these clauses were declared unconstitutional, clause 4 and clause 5, by the Supreme Court. So it was declared unconstitutional and void in Minerva Mills case. It is a very important case. So in Minerva Mills case, it was declared void. So now, now we have discussed the types of amendment. Now it is, we must also know that under Article 368, every provision of the Constitution can be amended except the basic structure of the Constitution. Now, how does this basic structure came about, and what were the judgments, and how the evolvement of basic structure came? So it started with the one main question: whether Article 368 can amend fundamental rights or not. So this was the main question, whether fundamental rights can be amended or not. So we will just see the evolution of basic structure now. So we have just done with the types of amendments. Now we will see the evolution of basic structure. So firstly, there was Shankari Prasad case. So this case was very important. In this case, constitutionality of the First Amendment Bill Act, which took away the right to property, which was at that time a fundamental right. So that was challenged. So in this case, two main ratios were that Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution, and the constitutional amendment law is not law under Article 13. Therefore, Article 13 won't be applicable. Since Article 13 is not applicable on constitutional amendment law, therefore, constitutional amendment law can take away the fundamental right, because Article 13 restricts the state to make any law to take away fundamental rights. Therefore, the court said that constitutional amendment is not the ordinary legislative power, it is the constituent power. So therefore, it's the main two ratios were that fundamental rights can be amended, and the Article 13 is not applicable to constitutional amendment laws. Then came the Golaknath case. This case was very important, because it overturned, the courts overturned its earlier stand, because this Shankari Prasad case gave a lot of power to the parliament. So Golaknath case somewhat restricted the power of parliament, and it said that parliament cannot amend fundamental rights. And the word law in Article 13 also includes constitutional amendment law under Article 368. Therefore, since it includes the constitutional amendment law, it cannot take away or abridge fundamental rights. So to overturn the Golaknath case, the parliament, since parliament's power was restricted, so to overturn the Golaknath case, the parliament came with 24th Amendment Act. Now this 24th Amendment Act added that clause 4 here, sorry, clause 3, that Article 13 shall not apply to any amendment under this article. Therefore, it gave again Parliament the power to amend any part of the Constitution. Now this 24th Amendment Act was challenged in Keshav Nanda Bharti case. This case is really very important, and in this case what really happened was that this 24th Amendment Act was challenged, and the court said that Parliament can amend any law or any provisions of the constitution except the basic structure. So the court allowed that parliament can amend any provision of the constitution, including the fundamental rights, but it cannot amend basic structure of the constitution. Now, what is the basic structure? Supremacy of constitution, unity and sovereignty, democratic and republic form of government, federal character, secular character, separation of power, judicial review, free and fair election. So all these are the basic structure of the constitution, and parliament cannot amend this. So this was somewhat evolved by the courts. It was the innovation of the court, because it could have been very dangerous for India if parliament could have amended the constitution and changed the very nature of the constitution. It could have changed the free and fair election of the constitution or democratic federal secular nature of the constitution. Therefore, to avoid such possibilities, the court came out with doctrine of basic structure, that parliament cannot amend cannot amend those provisions which are there in the basic structure. It can amend every provision in the constitution except the basic structure. So since it restricted a lot of power of the parliament, therefore parliament came up with 42nd Amendment Act 1976. See, these amendments are very important. So you must remember the year also. So you can remember it by this trick, that 4 plus 2 is 6. So 1976. And it was brought by Indira Gandhi. Therefore, and she was during 1970. So you must remember that 1970s was the year. And to remember this 6, you can remember 4 plus 2 is 6. And this amendment was called mini constitution because it brought a lot of changes. And it gave unlimited power to the parliament to amend the constitution. So most of the provisions were overturned by this 44th Amendment Act, and you can also learn by 4 plus 4 is 8, so 1978. So this 42nd Amendment Act was challenged in Minerva Mills case. See guys, I am just giving you the brief. In my next video, I will explain you the each and every case laws in detail. So as of now, I am just giving a brief draft of what amendment is all about. So in Minerva Mill case, the court make it clear. It declared 42nd Amendment unconstitutional, and it declared that Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution except the basic structure. Why it said so? Because it said that Article 368 is the part of Constitution, and Constitution has given the limited power to amend. Now the Dhoni, this line is very important. Just learn it and remember it. That the Dhoni of the limited power cannot, by exercise of that power, convert the limited power into the unlimited power. You have given an article in the Constitution to amend some of the things with the changing time of the Constitution. You cannot use that limited power of amending Constitution to an unlimited power and change the entire nature of the Constitution. So that is why this line is something very important. So with Minerva Mill case, this 42nd Amendment Act was declared unconstitutional. Then there is L. Chandra Kumar case. It was held that jurisdiction of High Court under Article 226 and Supreme Court under Article 32 is part of basic structure, and it also held that judicial review is the basic structure of the Constitution, and it can never be changed. In IR Coelho case versus State of Tamil Nadu, see, I will explain all these cases in detail in my next video. Here I am just giving you the outline of what really happened. So here what happened is that that the 9th schedule of the Constitution, those laws which were added in the 9th schedule of the Constitution were barred from the judicial review. So the court said that, so this case was regarding judicial review of legislation included in 9th schedule. So the court said that those laws which are placed before Keshav Nanda Bharti case date, that was 24th April 1973, before that, whatever is placed, judicial review will not be applicable on them. But after that date, whatever legislation is placed in 9th schedule, it can be challenged if it violates the basic structure of the Constitution. So friends, this was all about that how in Shankari Prasad case fundamental right could have been amended. The court said in Golaknath's case said that fundamental right cannot be amended. So the parliament brought 24th Amendment to give itself power to amend fundamental right, then Keshavnanda Bharati case said that fundamental right can be amended except the basic structure. So this was all about the amendment of the constitution. Thank you so much.